Hey guys, it's Deirdre Elizabeth, and I am here to talk to you about something so important. And this is not going to be the video that makes me YouTube famous, and it's not going to be the video that gets like 1,000 views or whatever, or even though that's probably small. But it is a video that I ask anybody who comes across, please take a few minutes out of your life and watch this video because it's really fucking important. And I've had a long day and I'm exhausted, but I have to make this video. So there is a proven science experiment, and I've discussed it before on my channel, but with regards to a different topic, where everybody listened. It wasn't a science experiment. It was a social study, like a study on an experiment done because of a situation that happened where a woman was getting assaulted in the streets way back decades ago, and everybody watched out their windows. Everybody heard her screaming for help, and nobody helped. Nobody stepped in, okay? Now, if one person had stepped in to help, I bet you any money, tons of people would have come down and helped. And this is where the science comes in. It's scientifically proven, and I can't even get into the studies right now because my brain is numb. It's been a long day. But the studies are that if one person steps in and gets involved to help a bad situation, other people will get involved and help. And why this is important to my video is because I want to talk to you about living and dying, and about people dying right in front of you and other people standing in a circle watching while they call 911 on their phones. Everybody calls 911 and stands and watches someone die. Now, I had an experience today where a young woman was on the ground, and everybody assumes, oh, she overdosed, she this, she that, whatever. I don't care whether she overdosed or she had a seizure or she fainted from heat stroke or she got hit by a car and someone left her, or she just has a congenital heart defect and fell, or whatever the cause may be. Maybe she has toxic shock syndrome from using tampons. Who knows? We really don't know. And it's not for us to judge. The point is, you either give a shit and you help a human being, or you stand there and you watch them and you don't know whether they're living or dying. You have no clue because you're just standing there and maybe calling 911 if you feel like pulling out your phone. So here's the problem. You can't kill someone more when they're already dead. They're either dead or they're not, and you can't kill them more. Okay? So if you are unsure if somebody is dead, check for a pulse. And if you cannot find a pulse in their neck, and don't use your thumb because your thumb has its own pulse, and don't choose on both sides because you will choke someone out. You'll block both of their carotid arteries. No blood will get to their brain, even if they have a small heartbeat, and their brain will die. So you check on one side, okay? The side closest to you with 2 fingers, and you feel for it. And sometimes you have to feel around. If you can't find that pulse, then you feel under their chest. Usually the best place, the peak of the heart, the apex of your heart is under your left arm. So if you put your hand under a woman's left breast and lift her breast up and feel, you will feel her heartbeat. And a man, if you put your hand in the same place, you will feel the heartbeat. If you do both those things and you don't feel a heartbeat, that either means there's no heartbeat or their heart is so weak that you can't feel it. And if it's that weak, they need CPR. So in Emerge, when I used to work there years ago, it doesn't matter if a heart rate is slow enough to a certain extent, you still do CPR anyway, because it means it's not pumping enough blood fast enough to make it to your vital organs and to your brain, to keep those vital organs perfused with oxygen and to keep your brain perfused with oxygen so you don't start going into brain death and your organs don't start dying from hypoxia. So if you can't feel the pulse, you're not wrong. Do CPR. And if you don't know how to do CPR, fucking wing it, because you can't get more dead. Right? You can't. And here's the science behind it and why I got into the science first. Because as soon as you step in and start, somebody else who knows CPR will step in and help you. And I'll be clear with you, CPR is not a one-person job anyway. If you've ever done CPR, it's a 2-person to 3-person, maybe 4-person job if you really want to do it, because one person's got about 1 minute and 30 seconds of good CPR in them before they can't do it anymore, because you have to go fast and hard. What's the rhythm? Another one bites the dust. That's the song. Another one bites the dust. Sounds crazy, but that's how they teach it. That's how we teach it in ACLS. That's Advanced Cardiac Life Support. And That's the rhythm that you do CPR at. And you go 1.5 to 2 inches deep. You're going to break ribs. Maybe, maybe not. And when you hear those ribs crack, be fucking happy, because it means you are actually compressing their heart. And letting it up is just as important. So CPR is a piece of cake. You don't even need to breathe anymore. I still do it. I still do CPR. When I do it, I still breathe and give people oxygen because I believe it's important. But the fact of the matter is, the compression and the vacuum, when you pull back up, when you pull up, that makes someone suck in oxygen, okay? It makes oxygen suck into their lungs. So they'll get a little bit. They just don't get a lot. So I still breathe. I'm not concerned about getting an oral virus from them, okay? I really don't care if I get strep throat doing CPR and saving someone's life, okay? And if you are wrong and they had a heartbeat, they're not going to die because you did CPR. So you're not going to be wrong and kill somebody, okay? I'm telling you this. Don't be scared. If they see somebody unconscious, or they were having chest pain and now they're unconscious, get in there, get on your hands and knees, get your fingers on their throat, look, listen, and feel. You get your face down to their chest level and look for a rise and fall in their chest. You put your ear to their mouth and listen and feel for warm breath on your ear and your face. If you don't feel that, here's the other thing. If someone isn't breathing, their heart's about to stop. Don't wait. Start CPR. You're not going to get in trouble. There's something called the Good Samaritan Act, and it protects you from getting in any trouble from helping somebody. And it's sad that I even have to get into the legalistics and the legal or logistics behind it, but it is what it is. People are scared for their well-being. You don't have to be scared. You are protected by the Good Samaritan Act. And I will tell you, if you can't feel breath, they're going to die. They're dying right now because their heart is about to stop. And you doing CPR just means that the blood won't have a time to congeal and stop in between when you start it again. So they have a better chance of living. They have a better chance of having their organs saved. And they might not die because you got on your hands and knees and looked, listened, and feel for a heartbeat and for respiratory function, for breathing, for air intake and expiration. So guys, please don't be scared. Do CPR. Do 15 chest compressions. Do 30 chest compressions. I do 30. Breathe twice. 30, breathe twice. I do about 2 good minutes of CPR, then I'll stop, check for a pulse again. Truthfully, you're going to keep going till paramedics get there because they're going to get there. Do 2 good minutes of CPR and then check for a pulse. And after 2 good minutes, you're going to need to stop because you're going to faint yourself if you don't. And other people will step in and help you, and you're going to need them to. And when they say, "Can I help?" say, "Yes, please help me," because it's a 2-person job to do it right. Because if you don't do it fast enough or hard enough, it's not going to be enough to keep their blood flowing and to save their organs and their brain. However, they can't get more dead. Okay? And they certainly won't be more dead than if you stand there on your cell phone waiting for 911 for paramedics to get there, or waiting on hold for 911 to even answer your call. So don't be scared. Don't be nervous. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be afraid that you don't know what you're doing. Take the chance and step in and help somebody. I was in that situation today, and I stood and watched 15 people stand in a circle on their phones to 911 waiting while half of them were on hold and half of them got through. And I got in there and I did CPR, and I was exhausted and sweating and dying. And you know what? It only took about 1.5 minutes for somebody to say, "Hey, can I help you? You look exhausted." And I was like, "Yeah, take over. I need to catch my breath. Like, take over." And I'm a runner. I'm in good shape. I still needed to stop and catch my breath. And then they did it until they looked like they needed to stop and catch their breath. And then I took over. And guess what? A 3rd person stepped in and said, "Let me help you guys." And by the time paramedics got there were 4 of us standing there, taking turns doing CPR on this young girl. And she's probably in her 20s, and we don't know what was wrong with her or why she passed out and why her heart stopped beating, but no one knows, and who cares? The point is that we did something to save her life today. And when paramedics shocked her, she got a heartbeat. So they gave her medication and they shocked her. And that CPR kept her organs and her brain alive in the meantime. So she'll live, and she probably won't have brain damage or multi-organ failure because of the CPR that was done today. So please don't be scared. Take a chance, get in there and do it. And just take a chance. You can't get more dead. You're not going to kill someone who's dead. So don't be nervous. Just do it. And other people will step in and help you do it too. Just trust me. And when this happens, find this video and comment on it, because it happens all the time. I see old people sit and they look like they're on their hands and knees, like they're bending down for a second, and they keel over. And it happens all the time. So you see someone shoveling snow, just wait for it, because, you know, when they're old, it doesn't take too long. These are where you're going to see people fainting. You're going to see old people walking on the ground. I had a man have a heart attack right in front of my house across the street, walking up the street. And my neighbors screamed and yelled from the sidewalk across the street, screaming my name instead of doing CPR. And I rolled him over and he was purple already. Purple. And it took me probably a minute and a half to get out there because I heard them screaming my name. And by the time I rolled him over, he was purple. And I started doing CPR. And then guess what? The neighbors did CPR. But they could have done it while they were screaming my name. Why did they wait for me? You can't do it wrong. You can't kill someone who's dead. When they're dead, they're dead. Anyways, that's the video, and that's my point. So I hope I'm not too aggressive. I'm a little bit angry because I don't know how long that girl was unconscious for before I saw her and I started helping. And I've seen this multiple times where I walk up and there's a circle of people and I walk in to see what's going on in the circle and there's someone unconscious and they don't have a heartbeat, or they're not breathing. They have a heartbeat still, but they're not breathing, and no one is doing anything. They're all on their phones. So please, guys, step in, save a life. And if you're not saving a life today, you're saving organs so that paramedics can save their life. And at the end of the day, it'll be you who actually saved their life. Because if their organs fail before paramedics get there and before they get to emerge, and they can be given epinephrine and the proper medications to get their heart beating again and to get their blood functioning properly without CPR, their organs are too damaged to work. They go on life support and they get up and unplugged. They end up getting unplugged a few days later. But if you do CPR, their organs get to live all the time while they're waiting for their heart to beat again, and their brain lives. So by the time they get to emerge, they get saved, they get help, they plug them in, their organs aren't dead. When they watch their brain activity, it's not dead, it's not flat, because you did CPR. So these people can have a chance to live again, thanks to you. So that's all. It's a gift that you can give anybody, and it doesn't matter why they need it. It doesn't matter. Everybody deserves that gift. So please take a chance, guys, and I'll see you soon.